Hello, my name is Thomas Daniel Ince, and this is my documentary about my mental health. Um, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia in 2021, and I want to make a diary about my life and how um, I cope with being mentally ill or having a mental illness. Um, and uh, and yeah, I went to London College of Fashion and lived in London for 3 years and was on the road to being quite successful in terms of getting work in the industry. Um, and I couldn't afford to stay in London, and it was heartbreaking, and it really made my mental health deteriorate because I really wanted to um, live and work in London, but actually it was the how much I had to work and how expensive it was killing me slowly anyway. And I would have said my mental health wasn't that great whilst I was living in London. Um, and then a couple of years sort of went by after I graduated in 2017. Um, and then I tried to go back to London to do a master's, but I didn't have money for living, um, except for the job that I was in, um, and I couldn't afford to do my master's, which was in psychology, uh, you know, and so I went from fashion into the psychological field because I was quite interested in psychology at the time, and I still am, strangely enough, and I decided to come back. I didn't really have a choice actually. It was made for me. I had to come back because I couldn't afford to stay. And uh, then I decided to do a couple of retail jobs to get by. But then after working at a supermarket for a short period of time, I decided to do hairdressing at my local college, and my dreams of wanting to be a hairdresser or a stylist, um, and I did that for about 3 months, and then I fell quite ill, um, which was my first episode or first psychotic episode that was documented, um, where I went missing and I wasn't turning up to work, and I ran in front of traffic to kill myself, or at least harm myself in some way, and I ended up at a mental hospital where they looked after me, and there was someone that tried to groom me, but I'll talk about that in the future. But it only happened the one time, so I was quite safe and I had my wits about me. You know, when you're in a vulnerable situation like that, there are people that prey on vulnerable people. But my care was very good overall, and I did the minimum that you need to do to stay in hospital, which I think is I think it was about 3 months in total, or just under about 2 months, and um, and I came out of hospital and I went back to do my hairdressing course, I didn't go back to work. I went and finished my hairdressing course with the help of social services and a mental health team at my college, and they got me through and helped me, which was fantastic. And I went on to do other things outside of hairdressing. So I went to do a job at Odeon Cinema, which lasted about 6 months, and then I was quite well and stable and was on a tablet called Risperidone, and then I had a second after being on it for a year. They thought, oh, you're doing really well, so my team thought, come off of the Risperidone and see how you cope without it. And I lasted a year, and then I fell ill whilst working at as a barista at Costa, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that job, and I'm always upset how unwell I was. And basically, I went missing, and I started to see things. I started to feel that people needed help from these invisible things that I could see, um, and that I couldn't do anything about it, and that people were being harmed. There were shadows that would run across roofs when I was out at night, missing from home, and so it's been quite scary and quite lonely. But I've had a team to support me through my. I've met a friend on my journey that has recommended Shamans Among Us, and it's a book about schizophrenia and some theories behind why some people have schizophrenia, and old past lives, and looking into why maybe schizophrenics see things that aren't there, which is a really interesting read. It's quite long. I've made a little journey, a little start, where I've highlighted some things, and yeah, I'll let you know in the future about uh, what I think about the book. Another book that I've come across related to mental health and uh, I'm a fan of poetry, is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, and I've made a start, and there's a good line in it which I've highlighted, and it says, "I was supposed to be having the time of my life." I don't know if it's in focus. Um, Here, I was supposed to be having the time of my life, and I really resonate with that. I think um, it speaks volumes, and maybe I'll write something one day. Like I said, I'm really into poetry, and my favourite book is actually by Lana Del Rey, and it's Violet Went Backwards Over the Grass, and it's one of my favourite poetry books, and it's just gorgeous. Um, I love the use of photography, like found photography mixed with iPhone for photography, and and poetry, like typewritten poetry and scripts, and haikus, and I think it's gorgeous, and I think I would like to make something like this one day. So check out my poetry website, which I'll put in the link below in the description box below. So feel free to check out my poetry and Lana's. This is a really interesting book. It's Saturn Returns by Kagi Dunlop, and I think she's from Made in Chelsea. But I couldn't really find that many books about the Saturn return. It's just about when Saturn goes back to when Saturn goes back to its original starting point in your birth chart. And I think it takes up to 27 years for it to return to the same point. And it's really interesting because the Saturn return starts at around age 25 and it ends at around age 30. And I felt ill around about the age of 25. So I recommend this book, and yeah, I hope you enjoy.